Morning to everybody here at Unity of London and our physical building at 501 Nelson Street, London. Welcome to those on Zoom. If you're ever in London, come to see us at 501 Nelson Street. And welcome to those that are going to look at us, watch us later on YouTube. And you too are welcome to come and join us at 501 Nelson Street, London, Ontario, Canada. Yay. Okay. Cell phones. You got one? Is it in your pocket, in your purse? You could check in if you're on Facebook and let people know that you're at Unity. Looking forward to a wonderful service. But you don't have to let everybody know where you are. But if you would please turn it down, put it on silent mode, turn it off. Just set it so that we don't have a blah, blah, blah in the middle of the service. That would be greatly appreciated. So Unity, we have a vision. And our vision here at Unity of London is shared by almost all of the Unities worldwide. And together, let's affirm this vision that we see a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And how can we do that? Well, our mission here in London to realize that vision, we decided that our mission was co-creating with Spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. And what does that look like? Well, at Unity, we truly believe that we are all one. It's our egos, our error beliefs, our fears that separate us all. We truly are each and every one a part of each and every one, or part of the whole. So it's important how we treat one another, because when you are being maybe not so nice to another person, or you're being very loving to another person, you're also doing that to yourself. And we promote self-expression. We encourage each person to be the best me we can be. You were born perfectly. You were born in the image of God. You don't need to change. You might have to let go of a few things that you think about yourself that aren't true, but truly you are perfect just as you are. So don't try to be anybody else. Just let your light shine as bright as you possibly can. And we have our 5 principles. And with those 5 principles, number 1 is that we believe there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and as my life, God, and God is good. Number 2, our essence is of God. Therefore, we are inherently good. This God essence called the Christ was fully expressed in Jesus. And this is what we're doing, I believe, with our spiritual awakening, is fully expressing our Christ self. Principle number 3, that we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. You can have whatever kind of a future you would like, and you're going to co-create that with God. And how do you do that? Well, principle number 4, through prayer and meditation, we align our heart and mind with Spirit. And we deny that anything has any power over us, and our affirmations are tools we use to move through a situation, change a situation, or express more of it more fully. And principle 5 is through the thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. It's not so it's as important to know what the principles are, but it's also important to live those principles. And also we suggest that we all be the change. Michael Jackson had a great song. You want to make the world a different place, take a look at yourself and make a change. And all we can change is ourselves. That's the only thing we have control over, is our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. But when we take control and take responsibility for that, we can make some wonderful changes and life can become so much more better. And we also look to coexist. Our power this month is Zeal. So today starts Zeal, and the color is orange. And Zeal represents, it's in the back of your, bottom of your head, top of your spine, base back of your neck, back of your head, and top of your neck. It is represented by orange, and it's the ability to be enthusiastic, be passionate, and to start motivation. Now, there's another reason everybody's wearing orange this weekend. It's Truth and Reconciliation. And I think that what people are trying to say also with the Truth and Reconciliation is that we can and should and will learn to love each other and coexist together, because it's the best way to be. And we have some special announcements. Da, 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 da. First one, prayer chaplains. Well, online, as always, we have our beautiful Wilda available for one-on-one prayer following the service online. And here in the building, our lovely Dawn will be available in the prayer room just behind the screen here, but you don't go through the screen. You got to go through the fellowship, up the orange steps. And you have an opportunity to have one-on-one prayer with Dawn. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. You ready? Head and shoulders. How's it go? I don't know. Knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes. So you're all invited to do something like that, but just a little bit different with Lindsay on Sunday mornings from October the 16th to November the 27th. From 9:55 to 10:20, it will be in the fellowship hall. And Lindsay will take you and your body through some wonderful, gentle moves that will be good for you and cause also some giggles and laughter and smile and joy, like we just did by singing that song. We're having another dinner and dance. It's been a long time. Yay, yay, yay. So November the 11th, right here in this room, you too can put on your dancing shoes and, well, we have forks and knives. You don't need to bring your fork and knife. Bring your empty belly, and we're going to have some fun. So $35 a person. There will be tickets available, of course, because we'll have to know how much food we need to have. And just to give you some ideas, the theme is the 1940s. So this is how women dressed to go to the dance in 1940s, ladies. And I just know there's somebody in this room that has one of those dresses at the back of their closet. You knew you would save it for just that one time. Men, this is how you would dress to come to a dance in the 1940s. I like the suspenders. And the food. So the board will choose the menu. However, we are looking for volunteers that will prepare a dish of their selection, and material recipes are to be submitted because we are also looking to have items that will include gluten-free and vegan options. The buffet service will be in the fellowship room during the time. And of course, the tables for eating, and we have our dance floor here, tables and chairs in this room. So get your thinking caps on. What could you prepare that would be yummy and would satisfy someone's tummy? And then also we are going to have a silent auction. So we're looking for contributions to the silent auction. You could start bringing them in anytime. I believe that Amber is heading up the gathering of the items and the silent auction. So we could keep them up in the back, which we used to call the children's ministry. So that the sooner they're here, the sooner that the organizers can get everything organized. So we're looking for things like books, small appliances, maybe decorations that no longer serve you, but we're looking for very gently used items or brand new items. And then you can offer services such as meals. We've had in the past, we've had somebody offered to cook dinner for two, lawn maintenance, computer repair. So if there's something you're good at, you could do a gift certificate for that. And then talent, musical lessons, chef service, haircutting, those types of things. So think about what you could contribute to the silent auction to cause that to be a success. And then fun is required, apparently. Can you imagine that we would expect you to have fun? Well, you best be planning to have some fun. We're going to dance to a selection of 40s music, and advanced requests are encouraged. So if you know of some great 40s songs, send it into Lorraine to the board. And then there's also going to be karaoke time, and everyone can sing along. You can make your selection in advance. Now, this doesn't have to be 1940s. If you'd like to sing a song from the 1960s, the 1980s, yesterday, put in your requests so that they'll have the music ready for us. And then you can also put together a duet or a group. Oh, that could be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of fun had. And now, speaking of fun, da 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 da, we're going to have some music by Mike. Oh, Mike's not coming today. Jim's here. Let's hear it for Jim Chapman. Using a gym? Thanks, Jim. I remembered your name this time. We're grateful that you're here and that you remember as much as you do. Such blessings to be able to come together. Okay. So now, before we go into prayer, For those of you that are new to Unity, Unity was founded on affirmative prayer over 130 years ago. When Myrtle first what's his name? Charles. I think it's contagious, Jim. When Myrtle and Charles first started Unity, the main part was silent Unity, and people would send letters, and Myrtle would write back a letter of prayer, and that went on for some time. But now, thankfully, at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can just pick up a phone. Well, I guess we do pick them up. They look different, but you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and you will find a loving being waiting for you on the other end of the line, willing and very able to pray with you over anything. And of course, we have our prayer box, and that is for you to put a person's name on a piece of paper or a number of people's names on a piece of paper, put it into our prayer box, and those people will be prayed over for 30 days here, and then also sent down to Silent Unity for prayer. So pretty power, a lot of power in that little box. So feel free to please use it. And this month we hold in prayer our Unity of Vancouver and Unity of York Region Study Group. So let's take a moment to go into prayer. So I invite you to settle into your seat, close your eyes if you're comfortable, and just take a nice deep breath, breathing in all the good in the room and releasing all the stuff that was going on up to this moment. Let your shoulders relax and be in the moment and feel your heart beating. And let us just all come together with our hearts open and ready to receive. And in this prayer circle, we hold all of our members of Unity of London, our friends and our family that have, whether they've come to our building or not, all those that are connected to each person in this room and beyond. We hold in prayer anyone over the last week or so that has had a person in their life transition. We hold the transitioning people in prayer, seeing them having a smooth and peaceful movement on to the next experience, whatever that may be for them. And for those of us left behind, we send love to the hearts that are hurting. We take a few moments in the silence to whisper the names of those that we want to include in our prayer. At a time that all of Canada is speaking and praying and living in the words of truth and reconciliation, we send our love to all the hearts of leaders of politics, leaders of schools, leaders of families, leaders of business. And we affirm that more and more every day, more people speak the truth. And is not reconciliation just coming together in love, accepting each other for who we are, for who each other is, knowing that we are here for one another, because it's such a lonely world when there's no one else around. We appreciate the hugs, the smiles, the touches, the words of kindness. And because we of Unity know the truth that it is love that brings us all together, we know that we will go forward, moving forward today, speaking more truth and helping people to reconcile with whatever troubles they may be dealing with. For we've all had hurts in the past. It's now time to heal and move forward. And we see this happening right here, right now. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now George will come and read the daily word.
word for today is prosperity. Practicing gratitude deepens my experience of prosperity. My life may be full of blessings, my family and friends, my home, my memories and experiences. But it can be easily taken for granted that I focus more on what I am missing rather than what I have. Being thankful, expressing my gratitude for my good, opens my heart, but it also opens my eyes to the many ways I am prosperous. I count my blessings, pausing to give thanks for each one. The more often I do this, the more feelings of gratitude fill my heart, crowding out constricting feelings of scarcity, fear, or envy. From the serenity I feel in my heart to the peace that calms my mind, I am prosperous. As I greet each day with a prayer of thanks, my blessings abound. Hey, what's there? Psalm 36, verse 6. The feast of abundance. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. Was it too close, too far? Whatever. The last several weeks for our speaker have included major items. First was preparing and presenting an action-filled speech for Toastmasters called Out of My Seat and Onto My Feet. The second was researching and creating a 45-minute lesson plan around the power of zeal that will be presented to evaluators and fellow LUT candidates on October 27th. Pauline has enjoyed the invigorating interactions with fellow candidates from 8 different states in the USA, as well as with Susan from York. This morning, with part 1 of her presentation about zeal entitled Capturing Zeal, please join me in welcoming Pauline Duncan-Thrasher.
Thank you, George. Thank you very much to George. And George has a quiet zeal because he really cares. And when he interacts with our book study every week, he always brings messages that are meaningful. And we're so happy that Lindsay is back, going to do that wondrous zeal-filled exercise. I wonder what you thought when you saw the notification that this would be about capturing zeal. How do you capture it? Do you want to capture it? Why is it important? And I hope to share all of that in the next few minutes. The power of zeal has been called like a fire. And it's interesting that Day of Truth and Reconciliation is talking about kindling the fires of hope. Kindling your personal fire, whatever that fire may be, will bring new vigor to your life. It will bring a smile to your face. It will make you feel ready and anxious to greet each day. So how have people in the past done this? Certainly the first person is Charles Fillmore. This is not my favorite picture of him. He looks so intense, doesn't he? He was a young man. He had an intensity even as a young man. And he says in the revealing word, zeal is the inward fire of the soul that urges He always says man. We mean men, women, people. It urges us forward, regardless, and I love this part, of the intellectual mind of caution and conservatism. Have you ever been on the verge of leaping full force into an activity? Maybe it was dancing on the dance floor, or maybe it was singing. Maybe it was clapping out loud to Jim's opening song. And you thought, whoa, no, nobody else is clapping. I guess I better be quiet. And you just squished your own natural zeal. It's not just about big issues. It's about how we respond to life. And it's so easy to step back in terms of conservatism. I remember Sylvia once standing up here, repeating the quotation that Charles said, and he didn't die until he was 93. And this is what he said: I fairly sizzle with zeal, energy, and enthusiasm, eager to do what it ought to be done by me today. Wouldn't it be exciting to sizzle with zeal? I know that the people who are here in Unity today are a lot like people that I associate with at the gym. More about that later. More seniors than young people, but we do have some younger people here today. Does it matter what your age is in terms of your zeal? I say no. I say the older we get, maybe our bodies have little creaks or groans or weak spots, but zeal is not about the body. It's about the heart, the spirit, and the soul, and what you most believe in. We know these two young women were advocates. They were both teenagers when they began to proclaim loudly what they believed in. With Malala, it was education for young women. And because she began to proclaim, even as a very young girl, to be on radio and TV, she received death threats and eventually was shot in the head and almost died when she was only 15 years old. Greta Thunberg, also a teenager, became such an advocate of climate change, and I didn't realize this till I did some research, that she convinced her parents to adopt a no-fly habit. Her mother is an opera singer, and her mother was being invited internationally to sing. She gave up a lot of international engagements because she agreed that flying was a big blot on releasing carbon dioxide or releasing whatever gases are released when you fly. I'm not saying stop flying. I'm saying that's what Greta Thunberg did. And her parents were very supportive. Her father's an actor, mother's a singer. And she still is active and often being arrested by police for protesting publicly. And you might say, what does the next slide have to do with anything? Because this is long, long ago, Mahatma Gandhi. Again, zeal, a quiet zeal. And this is Mahatma Gandhi walking. And if you ever want to see videos of a man in action, just go on YouTube or go and look up Mahatma Gandhi. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. What do you think of yourselves in terms of your zeal, your passion, your quiet conviction? Live as if you were to die tomorrow. The older we get, the easier it is to believe that, perhaps. Learn as if you were to live forever. Being open to learning is also part of zeal. And Terry Fox. I was not able to get a picture that would go on my PowerPoint, so I found the statue and said, he died at 23, and yet his zeal, his passion, his conviction about fighting cancer enabled him to run across Canada with only one leg, with his prosthetic limb. I just wish people would realize that anything's possible if you try. Dreams are made possible if you try. Does that mean if you want to be a ballet dancer and you try and keep falling on your face or getting really awkward that you can be one? No. But you could still go out to classes and do some dancing in the classes. Why a hummingbird? I'm fascinated with hummingbirds, and I saw them a long time ago because they're an example of a mighty little Amazon of a bird. They fly at 98 kilometers an hour. They beat their tiny little wings at 58 beats per second. Their eggs are the size of jelly beans. What does that have to do with zeal, you say? Everything. Because if they stop flying, if they stop eating, they die. They're also tiny. Do you ever think of yourself as being too small to accomplish anything worthwhile? Then observe the hummingbird. They're also very aggressive. I didn't know this before. And they will protect their nest by flapping their wings really hard in the face of their many, many predators, or using their little talons, or using their long beaks. Sometimes we have to protect our own zeal. Sometimes there are people who are saying, why are you so passionate about that? Are you crazy? Why are you devoting all your energy to that particular activity? Because it gives you joy. It's meaningful in your life. And you need to do it. Zeal. Like the hummingbird. All right. This is dedicated to anybody who loves baking, who bakes beautiful cakes. This is dedicated to people like me, who bake and sometimes burn, but I still sort of like it because it can bring joy. I did this especially for Dorothy, who loves to do pottery. You might say, well, it's just a hobby. For Dorothy, it's part of her passion. Does it make her life more interesting? I'll bet. All those people who do needlework, not me, but anybody who does needlework, crochet, sewing, knitting becomes a passion. This is empty because I want you just to think for a moment. Do you have a passion in your life right now? Is there something you love to do? Something that brings you great pleasure? And it's all right to take a few minutes to think about it. Because while you're thinking, I want to ask you a question. Why bother? Why bother to kindle passion? You might be saying, why bother? At my age, I've done it all. Oh, yeah, please don't say that. The alternative to kindling passion is lethargy. It's disconnecting from meaningful activities. It's being passive. It's being safe. Lack of involvement means that you then are prey to worry, stress, fear, anger, maybe even envy. You see some senior who's dancing about and acting energetic, and you might say, whoa, what's wrong with them? Because they have a joy of life. Nothing wrong with them at all, because they have found a way to be whole and loving and happy and energized. Passion brings excitement and fun for you and those around you. And Friedrich Nietzsche, and I didn't have this on a slide because I just found it. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. He who has a why to live, a reason, can bear almost any how. With more energy in your life, you can start to enjoy many activities, feel grateful for being alive, engage with different viewpoints, bloom with creativity, delight in a longer life, respond to stress with resilience, greet each day with excitement, anticipate activities with positive energy. You could be a builder. You don't have to be a man in a hard hat with big muscles, or you could be another kind of builder. You can engage in your love of writing. And I know Paula loves to write, and she's here with us. And others of you may love to journal. Whether you do it as a child, whether you used to do it, you can do it again. Whether you're doing it on the keyboard, or whether you're sitting on your coffee saying, oh, I can't stand another computer. If you love to sing, if you love to sing as a child, why not re-engage with that energy? All right, this is for Heather and Kate and anybody else who loves yoga. No, not yet, Sophia. In a minute. In a minute. We had to arrange this. All right. Yeah, you have to give me a minute to set up. So when I brought this in, Kate said to me, oh, Pauline, you brought in a yoga ball. I said, it's an exercise ball. And she said, but we use it in yoga. So I know how you use it in yoga. I want to show you how I use it in something that brings me so much zeal and so much fun. This is a shirt from my gym. No, I'm not advertising the gym. On the back, on the bottom, it says, stronger than yesterday. Stronger than yesterday, not just muscles, but inner zeal. Okay, Sophia, this is muscle, madness, and drums. Notice the words.
And stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping. And folks like me on the job.
Do you notice the song?
Working.
How many of you are still working 9 to 5? How many of you gave it up a long time ago and you're so happy for it? All right. Thank you to Sophia. This lost a lot of its energy because normally I would do that in a room with 14 to 16 senior women. And the password for Zumba, and it's sort of like Zumba in a way, is join the party. And you might say, what does this have to do with spirituality, Pauline? And I'm saying to you, a whole lot. A whole lot. Because we are whole beings. We're not just spiritual, devoted, quiet, prayerful people. We are engaged with zeal, are we not? I hope you are. I hope that if you only take away one message from today, it's that zeal has to be part of our lives. It must be. And you get a chance to choose any activity. Don't let other people dissuade you. Something that you feel really excited about. And you can show zeal in many ways. You can show zeal by pet sitting. I know these aren't the kind of pets that Peggy looks after. They're usually much more zippity-doo, but I wanted to show a little mournful pet, because if you're with a mournful pet, you can lift its spirits. Maybe you're a grandparent. And maybe your passion and your zeal right now is showing how much you love your grandchildren, showing them that you're still alive and well and breathing, that you care for them, that you want to invigorate their spirits. Maybe you're a traveler and you have a passion for going different places. They may be exotic, they may be quiet, they may be just away from all the madness and technology of your life. Jesus said, what is impossible for mortals is possible for God. And I believe in a God within, and that is a God who has passion, who has zeal, who has commitment to some kind of purpose in life. Do you have a purpose? I asked my cousin that. My cousin who stays up all night and sleeps most of the day. And she never answered. Because I think she believes she does not have a purpose. I say to you from the bottom of my heart, whether you are 26, 62, or what I will be very soon, 82, you always have a purpose. You are on life right now with all of us for a purpose. It's up to you to engage in that purpose with zeal, with passion, with belief, with a knowing that the God within you, the God within each one of you, has given you a talent, an ability, an inclination to want to show zeal. I'll close just with 8 ways to discover your passion. Consider what you love to talk about. That could be your passion. Maybe just talking is your passion. Brainstorm the activities you look forward to. Describe your strengths. If you can't think of them, boy, oh boy, you're in trouble. Then go to somebody who loves you and say, could you tell me what you see as my strengths? Write down what's important to you. Consider your talents. And guess what? Being humble is okay. But sometimes you have to raise the flag and say, I'm really good at this. Rekindle childhood passions. Explore activities you've always wanted to try. Enjoy your adventures. Give yourself permission to not be great. I was really nervous about doing this in front of you because it's not the same when I do it by myself. And I thought, oh, well, why not? Identify what makes you smile, what fills you with courage, and what prompts you to experience the daily feeling of feeling inspired. I bought a book at a garage sale yesterday by a man called Harvey Mackey. Beware the naked man who offers you his shirt. And I hope that I'm not like the naked man who offers you his shirt, because I do feel zeal for unity. And the subtitle of that book is Do What You Love. Love what you do. And deliver more than you promise. do what you love what you do, and deliver more than you promise. Whether it's baking, pottery, trying to bake, cutting hair. I was looking for a hair cutter and I couldn't find anyone, but we've got one right here. Whatever it is. And if I missed your passion, then it doesn't matter. You still are passionate. Love what you do and do what you love. Let us go into meditation. As we relax our bodies, we breathe in all of the positive, loving energy that is in this room, that is all around us. We only need to be aware of it. As we breathe in and breathe out, we release anything that causes us stress or anxiety, fear or doubt, guilt or shame. We let it go. We release it. And inside, we feel liberated. We open ourselves, our hearts, our minds, our spirits to the inflow of zeal, to the inflow of feeling our own purpose, of living that purpose, of loving that purpose. In the next few moments, I invite you to remember, with God, all things are possible. God is within me. That's you. That's all of us right now. I'll let you know when our time is fulfilled. As we prepare to return, we bring with us an awareness of the value of quiet, the time to refurbish, to re-energize, to harmonize ourselves with the Spirit of God within. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I had so much zeal about playing the song. I was a little early,
That's okay.
but it set the stage.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for an excellent talk on one of our 12 powers that many of us have lots of. And unfortunately, not everybody has lots of. But it is a great power, and it reminds me of fun. But you covered a lot of great ways for us to capture our zeal, and truly showed how important your zeal is. And now somebody that has a lot of zeal for music is Jim. Yay! You're welcome, George.
Yeah, I do have a lot. There's a lot of things I don't have. There are a lot of, and I do it. I love it. I love what I do. So lucky at my quite advanced age, it seems, to still be doing something I love. Now, this song was inspired. Pauline inspired this song. The last time I was here, we were chatting after the service, and she mentioned that Zeal was going to be the topic, and you know, I don't know whether she was fishing for a song or not, but I went home and I wrote down some notes just from the few things that she'd said to me, and then I looked up Zeal in the thank you, I can see that. I looked up Zeal in the dictionary, and I forgot about it until Friday. And on Friday, I realized that, gee, Jim, you're playing on Sunday at Unity again, and the theme is zeal. And I know Pauline will be speaking, and she'll be full of zeal because that's the kind of person that she is. She's going to sell that. I wonder if I can make anything out of those notes that I did. Do I have time? I've been very, very busy the last few days doing some stuff around the house that has to get done. But last night, I got them out. Got my office, and I thought, you know, I can struggle with this, or I can just let it flow, see what happens. So I polished up the lyrics. I dug out a bit of a melody. And we're going to try it now. This is really the first time I've ever done this. I did it in little bits and fits and starts. So we'll just see how much zeal I actually do have. You get the right song too. It's not called Thanksgiving Waltz. It's called Live Life with. There you are. That's the one. So let's see how this goes. Again, I'm not sure about this. Every day, in every way, life asks a lot of us. Yes, though we seek peace in tranquil days, it's more often fuss and lust. Peace and tranquility. It's easiest to ride the tide, stand aside or run and hide. Don't take the wheel, just take the bus. That's a dead end ride. There are choices we can make. Bend instead of break. Take a ride on the merry-go-round. Dance a jingle, bake a cake. We can have to lift our banners high. Keep our feet on the ground as we touch the sky. Seize the day. We'll never win if we never try. Live life long, live life strong, embrace the right and reject the wrong. Living a life that's free. Living a life that's free with thee. Give more than you take. Seize the sword, the lady of the lake. Fight the good fight, live with you, 'cause that's the way. Freely feeling. Live life long, live life strong, embrace the right and rejecting the wrong, living the life that you need. Is living a life that's me. Magic word, isn't it?
Thanks so much, Jim. Great song. Maybe next time we'll remember a few of the words and we'll sing along. Because Zeal will come back again next October. So here we are at that time where we give thanks, show our gratitude for all the gifts that we received during the week, be it your time, your talent, or your treasures. And as you know, as the screen says, you can send your offerings, your gifts, your tithes by check, by credit card, through the machine, through the Tithely app, or by e-transferring to unityoflondon@hotmail.com. And come along now, come along. And while Renee's just finishing that up, I'll just make a quick note that for the members of the board, if you would stay in this room before you go into fellowship, we're just going to have a real quick conversation about a couple things. The zeal and the fun at the dance. Okay. And now we'll give we will bless our offerings, whether they are in the safe at this time, in our bank account, in the bag, wherever they might be. We know that they are here and they are growing. So together we affirm that divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. So it is. And our prayer for protection, I invite you to affirm with me. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. And the presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And now we'll have our peace song. So as you go about your week, do it with the zeal. Have a great week, everybody.